Good evening. There's nothing like a good ghost story to pull in the punters. For pubs and hotels, claiming of a ghostly presence hovering among the kegs or on the landing is a sure way to attract a lot of custom. But one manor house just 6 miles north of Preston has a boast which outdoes the rest. In the past 50 years, Chingle Hall, its owners claim, has been home to some 20 spooks. Not bad for a building with only 4 bedrooms. But then they never rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, you must concentrate. You must not break the circle. Do not break the circle, whatever may happen in this room tonight.
Just another night at Chingle Hall, a 700-year-old manor house set on the remote moorlands north of Preston, Lancashire. Steeped in a rich and grisly history, it's perhaps no surprise that it's claimed to be Britain's most haunted house. So notorious is the hall, and so intriguing the tales, that ghost hunters come from far and wide in the hope of experiencing something from the other side.
The first time I ever came here was around 4.5 years ago, and I was convinced on the first night of the hauntings here. I don't know how many ghosts are here, I don't know what is here or why it's here, but I know it's here.
There have been a lot of stories about sightings and apparitions at Chingle Hall, and it's got some very grisly legends attached to it. I've heard tales of people being locked up and heads buried in walls. It's got a very gory and bloody history.
Whatever the truth, people do believe they've seen extraordinary things at Chingle.
I will never go inside Chingle Hall again. I mean, there's just something so spooky about the place. I will not step foot inside Chingle Hall.
People do come here complete non-believers who go away complete believers.
Down the years, hundreds of people have passed through Chingle's doors saying they've experienced something inexplicable. Photographs and research notes boast of what they claim as evidence. People pay up to £40 a night to ghost watch at Chingle. It's booked for months ahead, but visitors are not usually locals.
It's a tourist place, of course. People come from other parts to see the ghosts. But I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a local. Certainly, I can't think of one that said they've seen the ghost there.
So is Chingle Hall just a tourist trap, dreamt up to attract the gullible? Or is it a legitimate paranormal study centre?
The way Chingle Hall was sold to me personally, you were guaranteed to see a ghost. Something was guaranteed to happen. I thought it was a load of codswallop. I thought it was a big con.
Well, you wouldn't expect a down-to-earth Lancashire lad to be easily persuaded that ghosts exist. Chris Edwards from Southport went to the hall to raise money for his charity. He was a confirmed skeptic.
I was reading a book on my own and I just saw a movement at the corner of my eye. So I looked up, and as I looked up, a figure of a monk drew across the door, appeared to look at me, and basically disappeared around the door again and vanished into thin air. I was absolutely petrified for a few seconds. I need real hard proof before I believe anything, and it's been provided here at Chingle Hall.
I think the ghostly monk that most people talk about is John Wall. He is the last Catholic martyr in this country. He was hung, drawn and quartered in 1679. His head is supposed to have been brought back to Chingle Hall and buried somewhere in the grounds.
Did you see what happened to the matron last night? No.
The ghostly sightings led local TV reporter Paul Crone to investigate Chingle.
Let's go upstairs to the St John Wall room, shall we? It's supposed to be haunted.
He spent the night with a group of fundraising nurses from Royal Preston Hospital.
I thought, we're going to sit here for 9 hours, nothing will happen, we'll film, we won't see anything, we won't hear anything. How wrong I was. I mean, basically it just turned into a complete nightmare.
Of course, when it gets really busy, you never have time to think. I usually work with a film crew.
We all came that evening looking for a good time, a good night out, a group of girls who all got on well. And we went home in the morning, very different people. I just turned my head to look at one of my colleagues and I saw what looked like a figure behind her, a cowled figure. It looked like a monk. He stood behind, looking down at her. I couldn't see its face at all, I couldn't see any features. I just felt frozen, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't move, and it took me a few seconds to actually say anything. I was frightened.
Are you all right?
Everybody knew she wasn't joking, and it was genuine, and she saw something, and she was absolutely positive. I mean, I couldn't say anything, but I knew she was telling the truth.
Paul's own encounter was to happen on the staircase.
There was no one near me, the door slammed shut, and I just went ice cold from head to toe. So people dived with the cameras and took all the flashes, and as the flashes went off, we saw a blue streak just whiz up the stairs. You can't make something like that up. It genuinely did happen.
Even in the cold light of day, when the ghost hunters have gone home, the hall's unearthly inhabitants seem to be active. Plumber John Green came to the hall during the winter last year to install central heating.
I live quite away from here, and I've never heard of the place or the reputation that it had.
It's been a tricky job, but...
John needed help to get the work completed in time, so he called in a mate the next morning.
I finished off in here yesterday. What the hell has happened to my pipes?
To my amazement, there was just nothing there. The boiler was in position, but all the flue, the pipes, there was just nothing there.
And then tourists have been messing around with this, they'll know about it.
It would have been impossible for anyone to have ripped those out without making an absolute devastation, and even an expert would have taken some while to remove everything.
When he came back into the room minutes later, John Green was in for the surprise of his life.
Don't believe it.
All the pipes were back where he'd fitted them the night before.
They're real.
I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock, and I just really didn't know what to think or say.
Could any of the goings-on be explained by Chingle's mysterious past and its former residents?
One of the people we do know who lived in Chingle Hall was Eleanor de Singleton. She's the only daughter of John Singleton. She was born in 1568, but she was deemed mad and locked up in a room all on her own. She was abused by the rest of her family and died a very tragic death at the age of about 20.
Was Eleanor the uninvited ghost at a séance held by fundraisers on the 7th of October, 1995?
I must admit I didn't really expect anything to happen. I really didn't.
I've never been in a haunted house before. It's exciting.
Please, settle down. We need to create the right kind of atmosphere if you want me to lead you in a séance.
They'd come for a bit of a laugh, novelty value of staying in a haunted house.
You do want to have a séance, do you?
I thought a lot of rubbish. I'd seen these things on television, in films and things, and I didn't think much of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, place your hands on the table, fingers touching. Feel the energy moving around the table from left to right. Whatever may happen in this room this evening, do not break the circle unless I say so.
We've never done this before.
Me neither.
Is there anybody on the other side who wishes to contact us? If there is anybody there, give us a sign.
I could feel a pressure on my back, a warm pressure.
I could feel some.
Like somebody had two hands on the back. The pressure just built and built. And I thought, what is it?
Are you all right, Vic?
I thought Vic was actually going to have a fit or something like that. I was quite concerned.
Whatever it was then started on another member of the séance.
Angela, what's the matter? I can feel it too.
The feeling I had was like a rush of adrenaline, but it lasted a lot longer than, like someone walks over your grave. It took a long time to actually pass through me.
It moved round to include Vic's wife, Wendy.
I could feel this unusual feeling, as a baby's in your stomach type of thing, and you can feel it. It was just pushing and pushing.
Eleanor, if you are with us, give us a sign.
Lavender. Yes, I can smell it.
We could all smell lavender. I think it was strongest near Vic, and then it seemed to come round, and with the smell of lavender came this awful sadness, just a horrible feeling of sadness.
the tears absolutely rolling down my face. I mean, I don't think I cried so much when my dad died, sort of thing.
He wasn't the only one. Soon Wendy, Angela, Annette and the others also started to sob.
My eyes started to pour with tears, and I just felt like releasing this sadness and letting people know I was upset. Yet I don't know why I was upset.
When I started to cry with my tears just rolling, it wasn't me at all. No, it was something that was here, I think.
I wanted to capture the moment on camera or on a film of some kind, get something to come out.
This is incredible. Let's get this.
I could actually see the outline, not exactly a woman, but an outline of a lady. And I was absolutely amazed.
Eleanor, stop it! Stop it! You're upsetting people!
I was worried because it was getting out of control. There were too many people there who were far too affected. I've never seen anything as dramatic before or after that event.
Stop it now! I'm breaking the circle! I'm breaking the circle now!
Were these people experiencing mass hysteria, autosuggestion perhaps? Or would the photograph hold the key to a paranormal explanation? When it was developed, there was nothing standing behind Vic. No figure, not even a vague shape. But that hasn't persuaded those at the seance to change their story.
I'm convinced they always haunted. What haunted, I don't know.
So much happened in that one night. It was unreal. It was definitely haunted.
Ghost hunters fully book up Chingle Hall for months in advance. I must admit, I once saw something in the hotel that made me scream. It was the bill. After the break, the story of a woman whose psychic revelations so upset the criminal underworld that she had to be taken onto a police witness protection program.